playing now.
Show. And this is kind of a retrospective, but also involving some new hardware that he's made. This is also the first show that features work in our bathroom.
Yes!
Oh, wait, this is
the Easter egg.
Okay, only you know that.
Okay. Only you guys know.
Only you know. But go to the bathroom if you're not already. This also features work that you can see from outside, which is pretty cool. So if you've not seen the piece there, check it out. Yeah, I'll pass the mic to Mr. Carlton.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah!
Someone told me about Polaroid was coming back. I thought it was gone forever. And so when I heard this, I was like it was like a phoenix, coming back to life. To cut to the show, the outside window piece, you can see it during the day. The ones with the lenses were actually old World War II stereoscopic on battlefields to see bomb coverage.
Wow.
I just took the lenses out and I put it in plexi. So it has a little history to it, the glass, and it's real glass.
Cool.
The plexiglass viewers, Dr. Wheatstone in 1938 designed the first 3D viewing technique, and he used 2 pairs of mirrors. I personally found that's the best way to look at work, because you don't have a prophylactic of a lens. You're seeing the actual image. And so I made a series of boxes. The handheld viewer is actually from those original 1800 viewers that you see in flea markets. Well, I actually took it apart and just used the flat part. The 3D compositions, can you hear me still?
Yep.
So it's kind of echoey.
If you move your hand away, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's my wife.
That's great.
So I listened to it. When I moved down to Canal Street, there was an industrial area that was being put out of business, all that area. And they would throw out amazing stuff on the sidewalks, not just in dumpsters, but literally just on the street. And I would find pieces of machinery with switches in it and lights and things you don't know what they were. And I would take them back to the studio and take them apart. And I found I started making compositions with them. And so those images were composed from detritus found in the street. There was no real money, there was no real main goal to do. It was like, wow, this seems interesting. And they literally would compose over a couple weeks. And I would take in and pull things out and combine things. Anyway, it was kind of like moving to New York and just doing what you want to do. And it was an exciting time. 83, 84, 85, that's when those were composed. And then when Polaroid went out of business, that art form's gone. So again, coming back and seeing this place here and seeing the energy and the interest again was really phenomenal. And any questions?
What's your favorite format to use with 3D? Because you're exhibiting Polaroids here, but
right.
Obviously there's many methods.
4K video is actually what I feel the most comfortable with. And these Polaroids were like the precursor to that world. And but as I mentioned before, I started combining some of these old Polaroids with the 4K, and that's another art form. And I learned a lot when I started putting these together. I started seeing motifs that I didn't know I had back in the 80s, and it was exciting. So, and it's still happening as we speak. So, anyway.
How do you find the aging of the Polaroid images affects the work? Is that interesting? Is it?
The aging is one of the most phenomenal things with those old Polaroids. They haven't changed a bit.
Really?
It's amazing that the color doesn't fade. The only thing is once in a while you'll see cracks, but I find those cracks give it a patina of time and a value. They don't say, oh, boo-hoo, it's cracked. It's
right.
Like, it has a tinge of time here. So anything else?
So I've known you a long time. You've always been obsessed with stereoptics, the 3D image Why do you think you love that so much?
I remember as a little kid sitting or lying on the couch and pushing an eyeball, and I said, which one's reality? You see the image change, and you go, there's two realities here. Which one is the real one? And I found that fascinating, unanswered question. And I remember I had a horse when I was little, and I would walk up and say, do you want to go for a ride? And I would tilt my head and blink my eyes to make him say yes. And so the 3D was like always this strange mystical thing that no one ever talked about. And it wasn't until I actually saw one, the Wheatstone. To see the Wheatstone, oh, and the Polaroid camera, the film is a creamy chemical. And there's something very mysterious when you see a human being in this creamy chemical stereooptic solid form. And it says, oh, there's another something going on here. So it had like a spirituality to me. And that's why the Polaroid, and also you could do the Polaroid right away. You didn't have to send it out. You did it all sitting here, working alone at the time. And it was a very personal, private thing.
I'm guessing you used the SX-70 to do the 3D.
Correct.
Yeah. And how long it take you to get the distance between the two lenses so you get the...
It literally is the design of the machines, of the two cameras. I put them next to each other, and that's what I had. I'm sure there's high-tech 3D people that would say, you know, there's aspect ratios. I remember one formula is something has to be 30 times further away than the distance between the cameras. 30 times or more. If you do less, your eyes start getting weird. So there is a barrier. So I would turn them and tweak them in so that they would be a little cross-eyed. So always working around something.
So you had the experience actually of previewing as they were developing, is that right?
Yeah, free viewing. I remember very distinctly teaching myself how to free view. And it is like wiggling your ears. Once you can do it, you can do it. But it was a conscious effort saying, this can be seen 3D somehow. But yeah, seeing something develop as you're looking at it is another, you know, fascinating aspect of it.
Did you ever do like cha-chas?
Oh yeah, a lot of cha-chas.
Maybe explain to people who don't know what that is, what cha-cha.
Only if you guys want to hear about it.
I mean, maybe everybody knows, but...
Does everybody know?
No! Teach us!
The cha-cha is literally, you take a shot, and then you take another shot. That's called the cha-cha because of that dance. Rather than shooting something originally, as it should be, I'd like to play, because then you actually feel different about the thing. You actually go, oh, I'm seeing this differently. I'm experiencing it, not just seeing it, but experiencing. Geography is a big thing about the geographic distance and feeling of something. Anyway, I want to thank you all again. This is really exciting, and
Everybody give it up one more time for Carlton Bright.